What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and we have a major update on the Matheus Nunes to Liverpool transfer rumors, because a pundit working for the BBC and a journalist saying on Twitter this afternoon that things are moving on with Matheus Nunes regarding his Liverpool transfer. He didn't really say what his sources are, so take this with a pinch of salt. And also we will have a major update in this video on what Fabrizio Romano said and what James Pearce said about Matheus Nunes. But the Portuguese newspapers are saying that Liverpool are preparing to bid for Matheus Nunes, whose transfer valuation is not too crazy. It's around £35 million. That's what Sporting Club de Portugal would sell Matheus Nunes for. If you want to know what kind of player he is, I already made a detailed video on him yesterday, on what kind of profile of a player he is and what he could bring to Liverpool and what his skill sets are, how he is great at carrying the ball forward from deep areas. He is great at dribbling and taking on people. And also he can score goals and get assists as well. But he's still a very young player who can grow and develop, and Liverpool could mold him into any kind of midfielder that they really want and they really need. And also take what James Pearce is saying with a pinch of salt as well, because he kept denying that Liverpool were interested in Thiago, even when, you know, German journalists were saying that Thiago has already said goodbye to his Bayern Munich teammates and he's on his way to Liverpool. James Pearce kept saying that Liverpool are not interested in Thiago, and he can't see Liverpool signing Thiago because he doesn't fit into the age profile that Liverpool usually go for. But then he had to eat humble pie. He just wasn't in on the inner workings of Liverpool transfer deals because of the Virgil van Dijk's fiasco. Remember when Van Dijk was about to sign for Liverpool, and Jurgen Klopp talked to Van Dijk and Liverpool representatives talked to Van Dijk's representatives, and that was all leaked to the media. The Daily Mail, I think, made a detailed report on that, and Southampton got very upset, and rightfully so, because it's illegal to approach the player. You have to approach the club, but that's not how it works in real life. Usually representatives talk to the players' representatives behind the scenes to actually see whether the player is interested in joining your club. You can't just willy-nilly go to a club and put a transfer bid in for a player you don't even know if he wants to join your club. That doesn't make any sense. But Southampton got very upset, and Liverpool missed out on signing Virgil van Dijk for another 6 months. And after that, the Liverpool journalists weren't really briefed about transfer stories anymore, so they don't really know the inner workings of Liverpool. I'm not saying I do, I'm saying that Portuguese journalists and Portuguese newspapers are reporting that Liverpool are preparing a bid for Matheus Nunes, and it could be true, and Liverpool certainly need a midfielder, but there is a debate going on whether Liverpool will sign anybody else or not. So let me know which camp are you on, which camp are you in, let me know in the comments below. And this BT Sport presenter, Matt Smith, has actually broke the news first that Brendan Rodgers is going to get sacked at Liverpool. He broke that news before anyone, so he certainly is reliable and he certainly knows what he's talking about. So if he's saying that things are moving in the direction that Liverpool want on the Matheus Nunes deal, then I'm certainly inclined to believe him. But let's see how things work out. But other people are saying that Sporting Lisbon are putting this story out because they want an auction for Matheus Nunes. They want to drive his price up. They want Man City and Liverpool and Newcastle and Wolves to start a bidding war for Matheus Nunes, because that's in their interests. They can sell the player for a higher valuation. And also Liverpool signed another trend. Liverpool signed a very young player, and we pay Derry City £150,000 in compensation following the arrival of Trent Kane-Doherty, who has confirmed his arrival at Liverpool FC, and he will join up with the under-18 team. So he shared on his Instagram that he's signing a new contract in a Liverpool kit, and he also said surreal to have signed with this great club, excited for what the future holds, you will never walk alone. So I don't know a lot about him, but I think that Liverpool signing young talented players is always good for the future, so good luck to him, and hopefully one day we can have another world-class strength in our team. And you might ask, if Matheus Nunes comes in, which midfielder will leave? And there is talk of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain going to West Ham United, because West Ham apparently wanted to sign Jesse Lingard, Jesse Lingard had a brilliant loan spell at West Ham. He had probably his best period in the Premier League with West Ham United, scoring a lot of goals, getting a lot of assists. But now Nottingham Forest have announced that they signed Jesse Lingard on a 1-year contract, and he will earn £200,000 per week at Nottingham Forest. I didn't realize that newly promoted clubs can pay such wages to players like Jesse Lingard, and that is absolutely ludicrous in my opinion, because he's now the 20th best paid player in the Premier League. Jesse Lingard, no disrespect to him, but that is quite incredible to me that Jesse Lingard will earn more than players like Fabinho, Alisson, Thiago and a lot of other Liverpool players. And this is a big gamble on Nottingham Forest's part. Basically they are waging on Jesse Lingard, keeping them in the Premier League. They made other new signings as well, like ex-Liverpool player Taiwo Awoniyi and Neco Williams, but still, that is a big gamble from Nottingham Forest, signing Jesse Lingard on such a deal. And now that West Ham United have missed out on Jesse Lingard, they are now looking to buy Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. He would cost around 10-15 million pounds, plus his salary would be a lot lower. Probably West Ham, when they heard Jesse Lingard wants £200,000 per week, they said no thanks. And Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, I think, is as good as Jesse Lingard as a player, and he would accept a wage of 120k weekly wages. That's a lot of wages saved by West Ham United if they go for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. So in total, even with a £10 million price tag, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain would cost the same as Jesse Lingard on a free transfer, which is quite crazy that Jesse Lingard will earn £10 million more in wages at Nottingham Forest than Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain would at West Ham United. And you know, that would be a good thing if Liverpool would sell one of their fringe players. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain didn't play a lot of games, especially in the run-in in the last few months of the season, and he's way down in the pecking order, and probably Liverpool would want to give more minutes to Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones, Fabio Carvalho, and that's why Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is not really a priority anymore, because he won't develop into a better player, while Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Fabio Carvalho, they have a potential to develop into great players. And also young Liverpool midfielder Tyler Morton, who made waves last season at Liverpool. He started against AC Milan in the Champions League, he had really good performances. It looks like he's set to move out on loan to Blackburn Rovers, according to various reports. And Harvey Elliott already had a very successful loan spell at Blackburn that really catapulted him into the Liverpool first team the season after. And the 19-year-old Morton would do very well at Blackburn. Then he could have the same scenario where he could come in and maybe not start straight away at Liverpool, but have a much better chance, because these young players need to play, they need experience, and Tyler Morton just wouldn't play enough games at Liverpool right now. He's just not as good as our first team players, so it's better for him to move out on loan. Fabrizio Romano has said that there is no bid at the moment and no negotiations for Matheus Nunes to Liverpool as things stand. Nothing has changed around this deal. Liverpool asked for Jude Bellingham in June, but it was an impossible deal. Dortmund didn't want to negotiate, because Dortmund consider him untouchable this summer. So Fabrizio Romano at the moment doesn't know whether Liverpool want to sign Matheus Nunes or not. And James Pearce also said that talk of Liverpool bidding for Matheus Nunes is nonsense. Jurgen Klopp's and Liverpool's stance unchanged regarding summer business. No plans to strengthen midfield further in this window as things stand. But as I said, if there could be a ripple effect if Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is sold, then there is a midfield spot available, and we could use that money that we get from selling Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and also freeing up his wages from the wage bill. We could use that to sign Matheus Nunes, because it wouldn't be much more expensive, because Nunes' wage demands would be almost half of what Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is earning right now at Liverpool. So we wouldn't have to spend that much money on top of Nunes' wages to to sign him. So let me know, who do you believe? Do you believe James Pearce, or do you believe the Portuguese newspapers? Do you think Liverpool are seriously considering signing Matheus Nunes or not? Let me know which camp do you fall into in the comments below. And also, there has been some great reaction on Twitter to Darwin Nunez's 4 goals against Leipzig. I'm still absolutely buzzing after Liverpool smashed Leipzig 5-0. One Liverpool fan wrote, "Nunez really gives off Torres vibes, doesn't he? Unorthodox centre forward with an eye for goal, his movement frees up so much space around him. Makes you wonder if we should change to a 4-2-3-1 formation, as he creates so much space for a number 10 to operate in, like Fernando Torres did to Steven Gerrard." That's actually a good point, and I already spoke yesterday in length about potentially Liverpool deploying this formation and how that could impact Liverpool's season in the future. Nunez's movement was like prime Torres in his first season at Liverpool in 2008. Aggressive, quick, always on the last defender's shoulder. And that's actually a very good point, and that it reminded me of that as well. And Jurgen Klopp also spoke on the pressure that Darwin Nunez could feel because of his record-breaking transfer fee. We always think, he said, that if you pay a lot of money, then the players feel no pressure or whatever. They are all completely normal human beings. The first touch is not perfect, then all of a sudden. That generation of players read social media, which is really not smart, but they do. All of a sudden you get in a rush and these kind of things. He's a different striker to what we have or what we had, but he's a really good one. That's of course a perfect night for Darwin Nunez. Pandora's box was opened when he scored his first goal, and the rest is history. He scored 4 in total, and Joao Matip said, great finish, great speed, and the body he always puts in. I think it will be really difficult for our opponents to mark and to defend against Darwin Nunez. I think everybody's really happy for him, and they were looking for him in the dressing room. Great finish. We had quite a good time there on the pitch, but it was a preparation game, and we tried to be in the best shape we can. For this we have to train in a few days to prepare the league. So don't go overboard too much with Liverpool's 5-0 win. As I said, don't go overboard too much when Liverpool lost 4-0 to Man United. I think Liverpool are in a very good shape at the moment, and fans could certainly get excited, but don't expect Liverpool to win every game 5-0. That's not how it works, but hopefully Liverpool can get their fitness just into the perfect shape for the Fulham game. That's the most important. And Fabrizio Romano also shared that Wijnaldum is on his way out of Paris Saint-Germain, so it hasn't worked out for him that he left Liverpool. He signed, I think, a 3 or 4 year contract on huge wages. He earned 3 times as much wages as he was on at Liverpool. And of course that was one of the main reasons why Liverpool decided not to give him a contract extension. He just wanted too high of a wages. But I bet now Wijnaldum has a little bit of regret leaving Liverpool, because at Paris Saint-Germain he didn't really play a lot. And AS Roma are really interested, but no official bid yet. And even PSG are prepared to loan Wijnaldum out in the next few weeks. I don't really understand that, because he's 31 years old. Why would you loan out a 30-year-old player? But probably because no club would want to pay Wijnaldum's wages, and Wijnaldum wouldn't go to another club and sign for them permanently and just earn 30 or 40% of what he's earning at PSG. That's the risk of signing a 30-year-old on huge wages who is not a nailed-on starter at your club. But PSG are just operating in a completely different financial planet than normal clubs operate in. And a football expert in England recently said that the arrival of Nunez has certainly created a really positive energy at Liverpool. Liverpool fans saw his value in the Champions League games against Benfica, so they know the quality they can expect to see when he puts on a red shirt. It can take time, of course, for a player to settle at a new club, but with the departure of Mane, Origi, and to a lesser extent Minamino as well, the club needs to make sure that the forward line is running as effectively as possible. Hopefully Nunez will not take too long to show his worth, but there is absolutely no guarantee that Nunez will work out. But I think Liverpool know what they are getting. They know because they scouted Nunez extensively, and also Jurgen Klopp can work with him behind the scenes and to really make him a much better player. And that's it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.